back to the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Owen.
We got the whole band back together today.
Hey, we're here.
We had some time off. Everyone was away. Summer gets in the way. Everyone's doing a bunch of stuff, but everyone's here today.
See us guys leaving a party to come do the pod.
We did leave a party. We were in middle of a party. We left, and now we're doing this to go back to the party later. Just how dedicated we are to you guys, the fans.
Yo, at Canada, I got stuck on a highway for 7.5 hours. So that was pretty shitty. No, but it was great other than that. But
Did you see a Blue Jays game?
No. I was in BC, bro. That's way over.
That's super far.
You didn't go to Toronto while you were up there? Like, you were already there.
That's not cool. That's like
Go
you're
to
like,
Toronto.
oh, you went to Seattle and you didn't visit New York. It's like the same distance.
That's all I'm asking.
No, I didn't, to answer your question.
Nerd.
Didn't even think about it. Didn't even cross my mind. When's the last time you thought about going to New York for a game?
Not once.
And the Mariners are currently 69 and 57, tied for that first wild card spot with the Rays. Toronto has now dropped below them. And it's crazy. Week in and week out, every time we do this episode, the Mariners have not lost ground. They're either in the first spot or the second spot, and they're just battling. They're not getting worse. They're not dropping ground. Yeah, they've lost a couple series that they probably shouldn't have, but I mean, they're still in that top spot.
Yeah, it's really awesome to see they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won their last 2. Tampa Bay has lost their last 2. Toronto's lost their last 2. So it seems like we're kind of on an uptrend and still holding it down. I really like to see that they stay in that first wild card spot. We're battling Cleveland in really good games, like close games. And we've won both of them so far in this
2
series.
out of 4.
And they're playing game 3 tonight. Let's hope for a series win tonight. And when you're battling the leader of a division like the Guardians are, they're at first place in the AL Central. They're potentially a playoff team. They're more than likely going to be in the playoffs. And for the Mariners to battle them like this, scrape out some nice wins, and potentially go for the series win today. I mean, at very worst, you're getting a split, which is still phenomenal since it's a 4-game series.
Absolutely. Like we said last week with Quentin, this is playoff baseball. This is a preview to the playoffs. Obviously, the Guardians are ahead in their division. We're, behind the Astros, but that's pretty good. Yeah. So the Astros are amazing. We really don't have a shot to catch them, but we're competing for this wild card spot. So in our division, we're competing for a wild card spot. And in the AL Central, the Guardians are top tier. And we're playing them right now and doing great. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and it's like doubly exciting to see because, like, on the one hand, it's like we haven't been to the playoffs in 20 years. So, like, we're so close, and it's like, oh, my God, it could finally happen. And also, this wild card race it's been pretty consistent, battling up and down for, like, maybe the last month and a half. So that's also really exciting to watch and see. And it's like, oh, like if, the Mariners can keep this trajectory and keep battling against the Blue Jays and the Rays and even the Orioles, they could be like one of those underdogs that you make a deep push into the World Series.
Yeah, it's really fucking exciting to see the Mariners be one of those exciting teams in the American League. Since the All-Star break, they've kind of had their ups and downs, but they've been winning most of their games, and they stay in the standings at the first or second wild card spot. I was going to say the stadium was packed last night on Friday night. There was like almost 40,000 people there. It was so loud. It felt like playoff baseball. It was a close game. The Mariners took advantage of so many little mistakes that are so magnified when it comes down to it. Like, those teams would be playing in the playoffs if the season ended now.
For reference, that's the game that went 11 innings, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of the Mariners being exciting, what's more exciting than Julio Rodriguez's massive extension?
Forever Mariner.
Dude.
And the thing is, the deal is so amazing for everyone involved because it's like a 10-year base, and then there's player options, there's team options. So if Julio wants to opt out after 10 years, he can do that. Or if the Mariners decide to go in a different direction, it could lean towards that.
Yeah, he has the option to say, like, no, I won't go. I want to stay. Or I would gladly go. You know, he has that option in his contract.
And what's also crazy is the incentives and stuff based in his contract. He could be one of the highest paid players in history with incentive based and stuff. Like $470 million is insane. And he deserves every penny. He's so good, not just for the Mariners, but for the game of baseball. He is an amazing generational talent. And the Mariners locked him down. They locked him down early, and it's the most exciting news in quite some time.
It's amazing. I love Julio Rodriguez, and he has had a breakout year, his rookie year. I think this type of contract where you get a base salary of what is like over $200 million, a base salary with escalators for room for improvement and options and a full no trade clause, like this could be the type of contract that other teams take notice of and try to do with their young players. I would love to see more players stick with the team and commit with them in their city and build energy like that it feels so good to have Julio do that for us right now. It's like almost a weight off our shoulders going into the playoffs. It's an extra bit of happiness that this guy's always going to be around, and I'm going to buy a jersey.
Yeah, it's great to see the Mariners make an intelligent 10-year deal. I think the last one was Cano, and he was like 30.
He was like 32, and the Mariners signed him to a 10-year deal. Woof.
Did Seager get a 10-year deal, or is that only like 8? I can't remember, but I just remember that when he signed, he had like his breakout year, right? And then he just never really reached that potential again, which is unfortunate. But it's nice to see the Mariners, sign Julio Rodriguez, who's very obviously a generational talent, and moving forward.
We'll get into that going forward. I know I spouted a lot of hate towards Seager last week.
I'm triggered.
I know you are, man. Well, you should have been here to defend yourself.
Attacking my boy when I'm gone, that's sussy.
That's Quentin's boy, too. And he defended him, and I was like, oh, sorry.
And Patrick.
Sorry, man. Well, fuck you.
Patrick's a fan of Kyle Seager.
I also have a Seager t-shirt. I also am a Kyle Seager guy. Sorry,
All
Garrett.
Right. Come at me.
I'm coming, bro. I got the data to back it up.
And also, as exciting as it is to have Julio, to have him locked down for the next up to 14 years is insane. But since the Mariners are handing out contracts, let's throw a little contract Mitch Haniger's way.
Yes.
Let's extend him immediately.
Please extend Haniger.
I love Mitch Haniger. I call him Mitch Babe. Every time, like, Mitch Babe, let's go. He's been so clutch. He came back and hasn't missed a beat. It's like he's been on this team all year. The way he talks in his interviews, the way he performs on the field, he's been what we were missing all year, and it's been amazing. He's finally fully healthy, and he changed the way he uses his legs, so he's not gonna fuck up his ankles, and he is a punch in our lineup that we've been missing all year. I love to see him back, and we need to throw some money at that guy. He finally made it back.
Yeah, and a point is, a lot of people, I see on Twitter at least, that people are like very questioning of Haniger's health, but people seem to forget that last year he played I think 140 games. Like, he was out there like an everyday guy, with some breaks, some rest days, and maybe like a brief stint on the IL. But when he's healthy, and he's got the chops to go through it. He's not like Kyle Lewis, who's just consistently or inconsistently hurt, but Haniger's got it. And I think once he, gets into that healthy rhythm, he'll be gold.
It's also crazy that no matter how much time Haniger has missed, whenever he comes back in the lineup, it's like he hasn't missed a step. He immediately produces. So many clutch hits. I mean, he's such a staple in this lineup, and it sucks that he's been hurt so often in his career because he is so dominant for the Mariners. And yeah, he's not the most flashy or like exuberant guy, but he's still the veteran presence in the clubhouse right now, and guys look up to him. Sure, he might not have as much pull, maybe in a sense, as like JP with like players' relations, but Mitch Haniger is older. He has the veteran presence, and the young guys really respond to that. And he's made it very, very clear how much this team means to him.
Yeah, I mean, I look up to him. He's fucking awesome. Now, I wonder, is Ty France headed on that same track of, an awesome veteran player later in his career and then just gets injured? He's been struggling this year with injuries.
It's been unfortunate.
Is he going to be another Mitch Haniger, like 31 years old, just like missing half a season?
I hope not. I mean, he's still pretty young. Ty France, I think, should have taken a longer stint on the IL, and when he overextended his arm, and his swing hasn't looked quite right. I think he's been struggling because he's been playing through injury. You can see his left arm's all wrapped up when he's batting, and like part of his game is getting hit by pitches, and he hasn't
That's true.
he hasn't been trying to get hit by pitches as much because that's his front arm that he's not 100% in his game, and it sucks to see. Like he needs another stint on the IL is kind of where things are heading.
He really does. He needs
There's
to
something
recover.
wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like clearly he's playing hurt. His numbers since the All-Star break have fallen off of a cliff is an understatement. He is tanked so hard. And it's not that he's a bad baseball player. It's that he's playing not at 100%. And I think the Mariners need to put him on the IL. It's not doing anyone any favors right now for him to come out there while he's hurt. He's not even having competitive at-bats. That at-bat he came in last night in extra innings as a pinch hitter, struck out on 3 pitches, and it wasn't even close. It looked like he had never seen a slider before.
Yeah, that was
And
terrible.
It was awful. And the thing is, he's not an awful player. He's just not at 100%. And it's not doing him any favors. It's not doing his health any favors. And it's certainly not doing the Mariners any favors having him in the lineup. So he needs an IL stint. It's not like we don't have first baseman. Carlos Santana can play first base. Jake Lamb can fill in. Like, yeah, it's not as great as a healthy France, but France isn't healthy. So he needs time away. It sucks, but he needs to heal. He needs to be 100%.
Yeah, with France gone, him being gone won't really affect us, right? Because his numbers are so abysmal. So, I think it's good to have him take his time and go to the IL because right now he's not really producing for us. So we won't really miss that average right now, at least.
Yeah, there are 2 options. It's like we could just put him on our bench and have him day to day instead of having a legit IL stint.
And that's what they've been wanting to do.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think that's going to be what happens if he doesn't go to the IL.
I think that's a worse option. To
Yeah, I
keep
think
him around, he does need time on the IL.
He needs time on the IL before we
rest.
go to the playoffs. I agree with that. Like, Flexen's resting in the pen right now. I think he's going to be back at the end of September. He's just taking time off and, resting. They can do the same thing with France on the bench, but, it just kind of eats a bench spot, and then he has to come in and pinch hit and hope for the best. It's not the greatest option to just have him go day to day. I think IL stint is the best way. I think we'll see that this week. Especially after he got kneed in the leg by Jose Ramirez and then kicked in the foot by Jimenez,
Whoever that guy was,
else.
straight up Pele
kicked him on purpose.
That was bullshit.
So that doesn't help at all. We'll see what happens there. I don't know.
But he definitely, he needs some time away and get right because he is a valuable asset to the team. and no one can understate how valuable he is. But right now, he's not valuable. He's statistically, I think it's some stat like a WRC plus, and like the baseline is 100.
Yeah, league average is 100.
He's at a 3 since the All-Star break.
Oh my God.
A 3. It just goes to show how bad he's been. And again, not a bad player. He's great for the team. The Mariners need him, but we need him healthy.
Yeah, that's since his injury. Like, he got injured right after the All-Star break or right before it? After it?
I think it was after, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's obviously the problem, and it sucks because we really need him, and he feels that, and he's trying to play through. It's not working.
But, yeah, and, like, I mean, Ty France has been struggling hard. He's slumping, but that's because of injury. Who's slumping and not because of injury, as unfortunate it is, JP.
JP Crawford.
JP
Yeah.
Crawford is
A little bit.
slumping hard. I mean, he still finds the way to get on base. It actually surprises me. They'll be like, oh, he has a 14 on base streak. But it doesn't seem like it, and he does not have the clutch factor, unfortunately, at least this season.
It's not his bat. That's the problem, though. It's that his defense has been not great.
Yeah, I don't think his bat's been the problem. Like, he's been really good at going the other way. He's been successful at bunting and sack flies. He gets the job done in a lot of situations with the bat. He's actually improved a lot, and I've been seeing it. But yeah, his defense has seemed like it's been bad. You think it's been bad?
I don't think it's been great. I think he's had some rough times out there. There was also like a weighted defensive statistic that showed that his defense was very, very poor, which is more analytics that might not necessarily be true to form. Like, you can put anything into a formula and get an answer. But the eye test, he hasn't been as great out there. He's not a poor defender, but it's not Gold Glove quality this year.
That's true. Gold Glover JP is not the JP we have right now.
I think, like you're saying, it's hard to put what JP does into a statistical, reading. It's hard because JP has natural talent out. Like, he gets to balls that other shortstops won't get to, and he gets rid of that ball so quick, and he has a higher threshold of making an error because he gets to balls and has to get rid of them and actually make the play close, and sometimes he throws it away, but I think most shortstops don't make the types of plays that JP will. He has extra talent.
He gets to the ball quick, and he makes the play quick, but he's been sailing them way far away from first base.
Only when he has to.
What I'm saying is, you're right, is that he makes the play. He gets to the ball really quickly, and then he has to cross his body to throw it, and he's been very not accurate in that regard when he used to be on point. Like, he used to make immense plays where, he crosses his body, and then everyone goes, oh my God, JP did so good. These days, he's doing less of that. I'm not saying he doesn't do it. He still gets it done. But he'll make a play, backhand, spin his body all the way around, sails.
Those are always risky plays.
It's
always.
very risky. And I understand what you're saying about JP.
100% of the time, or 75% of the time is very good.
That's a ton.
Like, if you have the first baseman get pulled off the bag, and that happens. If you throw it in the dirt and it bounces away, like, that happens too. But he's the guy that can make that play. It shows that he has the potential to make that play where other players will not be able to.
Right.
And I think that's his real value.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think what Patrick's saying is there was a stat came out that says 21 other shortstops are better than JP as far as numbers go. It's like, fuck you, dude.
But potential-wise, we know what he can do and he's capable
Exactly.
of, and right now it's not going his way. I think
now
he
he's
still
slumping.
has the same potential he's had. It's just that it hasn't been great. I still think he's the same defensive guy.
Honestly, it almost just seems like he has a little bit of the yips on his throws to first. And that's what it really boils down to. It's not even necessarily range or playing the hop or anything like that.
Those are all dope.
It's looks like his throws to first, he has a little bit of the yips, which happens. It's just when you get into kind of the yips, if you get into kind of like a weird motion, it doesn't flow as fluently, and it's hard to like adjust for it, and it's called the yips, where all of a sudden you just like can't make a throw, or your throw is slightly offline. It happens to everyone. It's very similar to like slumping at the plate, but it's used more as like a defensive or even a pitching term of having the yips.
I mean, he's been around for a while. He should know if he can get to this ball, if it's like a bunt or something, and he bare hands it and he has to cross his body, he should know he should just eat the throw. Like, why force it?
That's a really good point. There is two decisions to be made. When you have that kind of defensive potential, you need to be smart as well. You can't just do it because you can and hope for the best.
That's a really good point.
You have to know when to eat it. Also, like JP, I think it's almost an attitudinal problem. Like is it an overconfidence with a nervousness? I'm not sure what's going on, but he got ejected from a game. I know it was a really bad call, but like he threw his helmet, got fined, got ejected. But like there was, and Winker's been hot. He got ejected recently.
He got ejected last night.
Yeah, on a check swing call.
Check swing at the top of the zone.
And he was
Both
arguing with the
umpire,
umpire for a minute too, like for a minute. And my thoughts when this is happening both times was like, okay, where's Scott Servais at?
Exactly.
Where's
our
he at?
manager?
Because JP and
Get out
Winker
there.
are dudes that can get hot, and Servais has got to know that they're those dudes. They're those guys. If you see them arguing with the umpire, get out there, dude.
I would go even further. It doesn't fucking matter if it's JP or Dylan Moore. If there's a player on your team that you see that's about to get tossed, as a manager, you got to be out that dugout quicker. You got to get your player out of there, and you got to face the music. You take the ejection, whatever. You get in the umpire's face. You save your players. And I will admit, yesterday with the Winker ejection, Servais did show fire, and he got heated, and he got up in the umpire's face. But the damage was already done.
Right.
Yeah.
Winker was already ejected.
Use that fire earlier.
You
Come
got
on.
to get out there.
Get there quick.
Yes, you got to protect your players. Because let's be real, in the grand scheme of things, the players are significantly more important than the manager in a game of baseball. And so you have your starting left fielder now ejected, and you wait to argue after he's already been tossed. You got to go out there. You got to fight for your team.
The fastest I've ever seen Servais out of the dugout is when Winker is throwing punches at the Angels dugout.
Dude,
That's the
exactly.
only
And
time.
That's a
props.
high echelon moment. You got to get out there. You got to do something. But we're talking,
Yeah, but
mid game shit.
Yeah,
that
but
he
like
won't be there for, and that's the hugest issue with Scott Servais.
right, and fights happen like maybe once, twice a year for a team. Yeah. Once is even rare.
Yeah.
But arguing balls and strikes, especially like, kind of in the heat of the moment in like a big game, happens very often. And Servais just refuses to like lightning strike.
As a manager, you got to get out there before JP says, "This is horse shit.
Yeah, man.
You're garbage. Fuck you."
That's my thing.
You got to be there as that happens. Get him away, and you take the brunt of it, so that JP can stay in the game. And going into the playoffs, when the Mariners make the playoffs, you can't just sit there idly. You have to get in there and make sure your players are in the game, because that's how you win baseball games.
Yeah, you put them there as the manager. That's your player. Get out there. Like my thing is definitely there is enough time for him to be out there before those guys are ejected. They're not ejected immediately. JP threw his helmet, got fined, and then like argued more. Like where are you at? Winker too. Like check swing, argue.
Now, where the fuck was Scott
ejected,
Servais the whole
and
time?
then Scott came out and got hot. And it's not okay, man. He needs to really figure out. Someone needs to push him out of the dugout and be like, "Go right now."
I'll even give him a little bit of credit. The Winker ejection yesterday was a little bit on the odder side, because it looked like they were talking. He wasn't overly animated with the ump. He was having a dialogue with him, and then it looks like he said some form of the magic words and got tossed. But still, there was dialogue happening, even though it wasn't like heated. Winker wasn't in the ump's face. They were still having an elongated conversation.
Toss.
And Servais should have at least taken a few steps out of the dugout to see like where this conversation is heading. And, you know, I won't fully put the blame on him because it did seem like kind of a quick toss from the umpire on Winker. But even still, you got to protect your players. And that's part of being a great manager is even, you know, Winker's temper. I mean, we love him for it, but Winker can be a bit of a hothead.
Know your personnel. Have a better feel.
Excellent point. Yes. And if you see a questionable call like that and you see a hot-headed guy having a long conversation with the umpire, it's probably not going to end great. And it didn't. Case in point. So he needs to protect his players more.
I 100% agree. I think our left side of the field on defense has that hothead side of them. Not Suarez so much.
Good vibes only from Suarez.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes
JP and Winker are both sort of hot. Like, you're going to get them going quick. And so Scott Servais needs to get out there and do something before JP gets tossed or Winker gets tossed. People like to shit on Winker's defense, but I think it's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Passable.
Yep.
You know what I'm hot about? Garrett slandering Seager last week's episode.
Let me hear it, buddy. Tell me
I'm
why
a
you
little
think
toasty too.
What did I say that was wrong about Seager?
You just shit on him, man. Like,
That's fine.
I mean, yeah, that's fine.
See? Now I'm right.
I mean, no, you're not right. You're entitled to your opinion, but
No, but
shout out. I wanted to shout out to Quentin first.
Shout out
He was a
Quentin.
great
What a
guest.
legend.
It was a very animated episode for only having 3 instead of 4 of the traditional people.
We were very happy to have him. He was
Yeah.
awesome.
God
he was
love
amazing.
Quentin. God damn,
He's
he was
amazing.
so good. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I took what you said to heart, and it pissed me off. And so,
What did I say, Owen?
what did you say?
I said Seager was shit for the
You're-
last 3 or 4 years of his contract.
Yeah, you said he was shit, and you said that Suarez is better in almost every aspect, right?
Did I? I'm saying I'm glad to have Suarez.
You
I think
implied.
he filled huge shoes, but I think Seager had a great bat for the last 3 or 4 years, but his defense was faltering, and you could see it.
You're gaslighting me, bro.
I'm not. That's what I said. That's what I said. Now defend that.
Defend that. I pulled. I got so mad about this because I'm a Seager boy, like through and through, like through the last like 8-9 years. I mean, he's been a Mariner for the last 11 years. He was a Mariner his whole career, 11 years, and so I pulled the stats, his lifetime stats for Seager, which is 11 years, Suarez is 9 years, and compared them and did averages and stuff. So I'm gonna pull up what I got real quick.
Oh shit.
Also, it's crazy that Seager only had an 11-year career. He didn't have to retire when he did. Texas was willing to throw ducats his way for him to come and play with his brother.
Yeah, the
And
Seager combo.
Kyle literally dropped his mic and was like, you know what? I'm retired. I'm moving back to North Carolina to coach my kids' soccer teams.
See, I don't know what the intricacies of that are, but dude, the Seager brothers on the Rangers would have been such fun baseball. I don't care how bad the Rangers are. That's fun baseball.
And
I would've
Seager
wo-
smashes in Texas.
His numbers
He
in
does.
Globe Life Park, where the Rangers play, were astronomical. The dude, oh my God, he slung the bat like crazy in Globe Life.
I mean, I'm a big Elvis Andrus, Adrian Beltre fan on the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
That was a great combo.
That's maximum level fun baseball. Now, you're talking Kyle Seager and Corey Seager. That's another level of fun.
Good point.
That's just good baseball.
It would have, but I didn't
I
want
would
to
have
see Kyle
loved
Seager.
to see that.
I wouldn't want to see Kyle in another uniform. I love me some Kyle.
Heartbreak.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
He's a
See,
Mariner.
That's where we differ. I
ride
would,
or
I would
die.
love to see him at another place doing well.
If it happened, I actually would have watched a little bit of Rangers baseball, though. So
I would have watched
you
a
know.
lot of Rangers. That's great. Anyway, go ahead, Owen. Tell
Yeah.
me why I'm stupid and why what I said was wrong.
I mean, you're not stupid. You're just wrong, right?
Fair.
I mean, to
Tell
your
me why.
to your credit, Suarez for his I averaged Seager's 11-year Suarez's 9-year career and then did the difference between to make Seager have a 9-year career, right? Suarez has 50 more walks lifetime than Seager
That's good.
on average.
That's a good thing.
He also is averaging more than about 20 home runs per season than Seager.
That's
Lifetime.
also a good thing. I don't know where this is going, but go ahead.
He also has 300 more strikeouts.
Okay, fair enough. 300 is
300.
a lot. God
300.
Yeah, he strikes
Less
out a
at
lot.
bats. Yeah, less at bats, less games played.
damn. More strikeouts.
300. Like
300 more strikeouts.
it's pretty bad. Let's see.
Well.
I mean, Seager also has about 50 more RBIs lifetime than Suarez at this point in time, obviously. So those more home runs that Suarez has are negligible.
So it's more solo
Baby.
shots than like
Yeah,
runners in-
Seager's more
yeah.
clutch, I think. Suarez is more like power.
Okay, cool.
And I want to give a shout out. The year that the Mariners signed Kyle Seager to his extension, I believe it was a 7-year contract at that point. He had been with the Mariners for 3-4 years at that point, and they signed him to a 7-year deal. That year, Kyle Seager led all of baseball in 2-out RBIs. That is a clutch factor that doesn't necessarily show up in a baseball reference page.
Yeah,
you really
that's
don't
true.
get much more clutch than that, and that's fair. I never said his bat was bad, but to put it in the context of runners on base, runners in scoring position, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's such a cool stat to have.
How can you not love a guy that has that kind of stat, you know?
And it's so crazy
Because
because
his
there's
defense was not good. That's why.
Oh, come on. His defense was awesome for most of his career.
I agree.
And it barely declined at the end when guys like Matt Chapman came along and surpassed his level. And, like, you know, I think he still had a solid defense, but it wasn't Gold Glove at the end of his career.
I mean, wouldn't you know it? I crunched the fielding numbers too, baby.
Let's go.
Oh.
Tell me about it.
Seager's played about 450 more games than Suarez, and it's only made 10 more errors.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty good.
Seager has at least one Gold Glove. I don't know if Suarez. I also didn't look at
think
Gold Glove
one.
awards. I don't know if Suarez has any.
I don't think so.
Kind of crazy to me that Suarez has no Gold Glove awards.
Dude, you got to think about his competition, though. Like Nolan Arenado, there's no way Suarez is going to beat him in the National League. And there's a couple other dudes there, too. Like
Kind of
Suarez
adds
is
to
solid.
my point where Kyle Seager also had no competition.
Matt Chapman.
Yeah, well, they traded him. Cool.
Yeah, but, I mean, that dude
Seager
was a
also
stud.
played second base for 22 games and didn't make a single error, baby. 1,000% for fielding percentage.
Ooh.
Okay, fair enough.
He got a
fair
Gold
enough.
Glove. He's also, I think, his contract signing year, he was an alternate for the All-Star game.
All right, Owen, I got to ask you.
Yes.
Do you think they're comparable players? Like one has more than the other. This guy has more. This guy has more.
I think Seager's right now the obvious winner. Like Suarez is good. They're basically the same person, right? Their average
That's
is.
what I'm trying to tell you, brother.
Oh, he was shitting on Seager, so I thought you were trying to put
They're
over
very comparable.
Suarez.
I'm
on
really
the,
not. I'm really not
Okay.
shitting on Seager. I'm just saying his last couple of years, you could see him falter.
Yeah, he fell off for sure. I mean, Suarez
He
was
was
also 9 years
obviously-
into his
And
career.
he sold
so,
out
like,
for power is why he hit all those homers, low average, lots of homers, which is kind of what Suarez is doing. Like, honestly, he's kind of filling in what Kyle Seager was doing from the other side of the plate.
except with 300 more strikeouts.
Yeah, with a lot of
That-
strikeouts.
And
And Seager struck out a lot too. Like the 0-2 Seager was the thing, bro. It's like 2 fastball misses and then a curveball strikeout.
Now, you're right. You're very right about that. That's fucking awesome. And that helped the Mariners so much in a year where it didn't fucking matter. Super sick. Wow. Thanks, Kyle Seager. Thanks for helping out a shitty Mariners team.
he's doing
Now-
his part.
Yeah, he was doing his part.
Playing with like Sean
didn't
Figgin,
matter.
bro. What do you want him to do?
matter.
I think it's just like they're
Brendan
both
Ryan.
they're both dudes who like to swing the bat and hit the ball far. So they have a low average, high exit velocity, but they have a lot of doubles and homers because that they're bangers when they hit the ball, but that's only when they hit the ball.
Now, going off of that, that's what I'm saying. Obviously, Eugenio Suarez misses the ball more. Kyle Seager did not miss the ball often.
Not quite as much.
He
Oh,
had
he
a
missed
higher
it
lifetime
often.
average. 251
Just
to 249.
not quite
Yeah,
as
in those
much.
last 3 years, like I said, it was
Suarez
terrible.
misses a lot. But,
terrible.
Suarez does miss a lot, but
but I love watching him hit because when he connects,
yet
dude, it
he
goes.
still has the all-time major league high in home runs.
That is
hit
pretty cool. Oh,
in
he's
the
above
last-
he's
what is
above
it?
Aaron Judge,
Can someone
right?
tell me? Is it 8? It's not 8 years.
It's
No.
like 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
3 or
That's
4
amazing.
years.
I
It's
don't
still
even-
awesome.
And
It's like
Judge-
160 home runs in like the last 3 or 4 years or
Yeah,
something like that.
Judge did catch up and like
Let's
pass him maybe,
fucking
but I
go.
think he might
Well,
have taken it
he's
back.
obviously gonna get passed, but right now.
But
that
either
stat
way,
is
that's
good.
how can you complain with having Aaron Judge as your competition for most home runs
It's
in
hard
the last
when
3
Judge
years?
is
That's
hitting
awesome.
like 60 home runs a
And
season.
really, that's all I was saying. I'm not hating on Kyle Seager, but I loved that you brought stats.
I'm a data guy. Seager also has the leadership advantage, which you can't quantify in data. Maybe.
I was
Be it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. Seager is a clubhouse leader. Suarez.
he brought good vibes only. I'm literally wearing a Suarez shirt right
they
now.
made tank
Good vibes
tops with
only.
good vibes only. And there was a whole fucking video of like, hey, Ty France, what do you got under your jersey? And he like pulled the chest open and it just says good vibes only. And they're like, hey, JP, what you rocking under your jersey? Good vibes only. Suarez brings a presence that I think is not better. I won't say it's better. I think it matches Kyle Seager's like clubhouse presence.
Okay, we can agree to that.
I would
I was
agree.
gonna say
I think we ended up agreeing.
yes.
He was a great I don't want to say replacement, but like he came in without like a chip on his shoulder. Suarez had experience too. It's not like he's not a guy. So he came in and didn't feel like he was stepping into big shoes. I think he filled in just the way he needed to on this team that was coming together in a new way.
Yeah, I mean, I love Suarez. I think he's great.
I love both of them.
I heard
too.
you talking a little bit of smack to Seager,
I
and I saw
apologize.
red.
Call him out.
I'm gonna go
Call
out. I'm
him out,
gonna
Owen.
apologize to all Seager fans.
I'm just saying, Kyle Seager in his last year, the year he retired, had 100 RBIs and 35 home runs. That's a bomb ass season. His average was like 216. So yeah, like that's low, but no, he was still a great player. He went out without even necessarily hitting his natural decline of when career 300 hitters start hitting 240 and they're just clearly father time has caught up to them and they can't get it done on the field anymore. Seager didn't have that. Seager was like, you know what? I'm still really good, but I think I'm done with baseball. And Kyle Seager hates fucking Jerry DiPoto.
Yeah.
So that probably played a role in it too.
He came in as a Mariner and left as a Mariner. Like that's like the Derek Jeter story,
He's
right?
a Mariner
Like,
at
Give him
heart,
a statue.
You know?
Thank
Kyle
you.
Seager
Yes.
deserves a statue.
I respect that a
Please.
lot, that he didn't go to another team just to break the hearts of the fans for his last petering out of his career. Like, that's pretty ballsy and like respectable. He wanted to spend time with his family. And
If we're signing a petition to build a Kyle Seager statue, I'm signing that petition.
Are you on the petition to build a Suarez statue too?
No,
What? But
no,
there's-
because
Suarez
Suarez
hasn't
was
been
not
here
a
11
career
years.
Mariner.
no, I get what you're saying.
He's a Seattle Redner.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
just fucking with you, bro. I got to give it
Since
back
Seattle
after you
Rednecks.
gave it there last week.
ooh, guys, I'm looking at baseball scores. Guess what?
What's up?
The Orioles are beating the Astros 3-0 in the 7th. I know they shut them out yesterday.
2-0. Love that.
They're up 3-0 in the 7th right now.
Suck it,
The
Astros.
Angels beat the Blue Jays again. The Red Sox beat the Rays again. And the Mariners have yet to play. They play in a half hour.
That's huge because literally
That's awesome.
the Mariners' competition right now for the wild card is the AL East. Like, that's our only competition. The Rays, the Orioles, and the Jays are all in the same division.
It's a good fucking division.
It's nuts.
At the end of the season, they're all going to play each other a lot more, too. You play in division at the end of the season, usually, how the schedule is now, at least. But they're going to beat up on each other, like you've been saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Patrick.
and that's totally going to work in the Mariners' favor with baseball schedules currently ending the year with so much divisional games they're gonna beat up on each other. One team is gonna win a series and then lose the next one, and they're all just gonna be battling each other and not necessarily gaining ground when the Mariners are playing our division games against the A's and the Rangers and the Angels and dog shit teams. So that the end of the season push is going to be huge as the AL East cannibalizes themselves and hurts all of them. The Mariners are only going to use that as a trampoline to push forward. I guarantee it. Stamp it.
It really is a big help for us. Every team in the AL East is competitive. Even the Red Sox, who are middling, like under 500 by like 7 games or some shit. Like
Yeah, still putting down the Rays.
Yeah, still putting them down 2 games in a row here. You know, like we're going up on the Guardians while the Jays and the Rays are going down 2 games. So this is a good push right now. We finally are building a little platform, but we're still basically tied with both teams. I'm excited to see what happens here, what shakes out. I really like our schedule that we talked about before.
And it's crazy because the Mariners have to capitalize on it this year because next year, baseball's changing their schedule, which is another good thing for the game. This is crazy. Baseball is now making it starting in the 2023 season. Every team plays every team at least one time during the season. That's huge because even before like interleague play was regular, Mariners would go like 10 years without ever playing a National League team. I think there was like a 10, 12-year gap between times where the Mariners played the Chicago Cubs. And it just sucks. Like, how do you expect to grow the game when there's half a league that you don't even fucking see for a decade? That's mind-blowing to me. And the fact that it took so long, but now baseball's changing it. You get to play everyone at least once. That's so cool. That's so great for the game. Players that you would never normally see, you get to see them in your hometown. It's so cool. I could not be more excited. And a complete W for Major League Baseball.
Yeah, super great introduction for it. I think a lot of people, a lot of baseball fans, a lot of their like true diehard baseball fans, their bucket list is to go see their home team play against, in every stadium, right? That's, my bucket list, and I've been to 3, and it's hard. It's really hard when you have to plan like 2 years in advance to go see, for example, the Mariners played the Braves like 2 years ago, and they played the Rockies a year ago. And it's hard to make all these plans and future plans and all these things. And now, going forward, we're going to be playing every team. So I think it's going to increase revenue for all the teams for sure. It's going to increase team loyalty. It's going to be culturally significant because you get to see all these other teams' stadiums, which, T-Mobile is amazing, but I know for sure I would love to see Fenway, the Yankee Stadium, a lot of the East Coast teams that are in the the National League. It's just a really good move, and it makes road tripping and seeing all these teams and crossing off your bucket list very feasible and possible in the next 5 years, which is great.
Also, I want to bank off that, talk about increase in revenue. That's going to be through the roof because no one cares, especially if your season is a wash. No one cares if you're playing the Athletics for the 30th fucking time that year. Why do you care? You've seen that whole team all fucking season. Now it's September, and instead of just playing a same divisional rival for the millionth time, you're playing the Brewers or the Phillies or just some random team that you don't usually get to see. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, not only will it improve revenue, excitement for the game, marketability of exciting players, it'll also make the strength of schedule more even. Everyone will play everyone the same amount. It won't be like our division sucks. The AL Central sucks. So like you can't beat up on your division or get beat up on by your division as easily because we don't have as many games against them. So it really does like even the playing field for teams that are good, but are in a also really good division.
Going kind of off of that, sort of sidetracking, I hate when baseball is on YouTube or Apple TV or whatever, dude.
I also love that.
I
get
hate
that.
that.
YouTube?
I fucking hate it.
I don't have
Because
cable. That's
I'm
my
a
only way I
radio-
can watch the games.
I'm a constant radio listener. I only listen to radio.
So why does YouTube affect you?
Because it's annoying, bro.
No, it's
Garrett,
a great
get
way.
with the times. Come on.
I know, I get it.
Yeah, I think you're thinking about it wrong. Like on YouTube or Apple TV, it's on a national platform. It's not just your local root station. Like people all across the country are gonna have it's gonna be marketed to people across the country, not just your local station.
Yeah, and like no one gives a shit about the Mariners. It's because they are on the West Coast. They're in Seattle. They're like the only team in like 3 states. You go down Oregon, no team. Idaho, no team. Montana, no team.
No team.
You go down to California, there's a whole bunch of teams, right? But it's like there's just nobody over here. And when you're playing these National League teams and you're playing them all, you're playing each team at least once a season, you're going to get that recognition, bro. I mean, there's like
Yeah.
what
I
don't
get
know,
that.
like half the population, I would
gonna
say,
be
just
awesome.
evenly is watches strictly National League games, and now they're gonna be watching the Mariners. I watch all the free games on YouTube. The Cleveland Guardians and the Mariners draw was like 120,000 live viewers concurrently. That's 3 T-Mobile parks.
That's huge.
That's insane.
That's huge viewership.
It's insane. If you're a baseball fan and your team isn't playing and you can watch live baseball on YouTube for free, you will generally, I feel like the target customer will generally watch that. So it doesn't
Yes.
necessarily matter. I will watch any YouTube game that's going down. It doesn't matter if it's the Mariners, the National League, the Astros. I watch it because it's free and it's baseball.
Yeah.
And I
It's
love
baseball.
Yep.
I might be saying more about myself. I don't want to watch this team versus this team.
For example, when I was a kid, I used to
fair
watch
enough.
the second team I used to watch on TV was the Braves because they put their games on TBS.
And they were
And
a good
they're
team.
across
Yes,
the
that's huge.
entire country, but they were on in the middle of the day because they're on the East Coast. I used to watch Braves games before I watched Mariners games because they were on.
it. Me too, bro. Me too. The
That's
Braves are my
awesome.
second
Just
favorite team for sure.
accessibility to a game makes viewership happen. It makes fandom happen. I loved the Braves because I got to watch them. So I think
that's a
the
good
YouTube,
point.
the national stage is really good for our team. And I think, YouTube and Apple TV, they're all new platforms for baseball, but they're also new and exciting and on a bigger platform than just our local station. So I like it a lot.
So I will say the YouTube announcers for their games aren't very great. However, YouTube gives you the option to also listen to the radio broadcast for your team. So you can still listen to like Rick Riz or whatever when they're playing on YouTube. You can listen to the Mariners broadcast audio synced up, which is huge. And then I also want to say Apple TV. I was really impressed with their announcers last night. I was able to watch the game on Apple TV while I was at work, and they had like their minor kind of like small slip ups that just like happen naturally, but it felt like a professional broadcast, and the announcers knew what they were talking about, and they were doing such a good job of not only just describing the game as it's happening, like calling it, but also giving a nice little bit of insight into more kind of like in-depth things. So I want to give a shout out to the Apple TV crew.
Yeah, I think the Apple TV is really, they are trying to pull people who are knowledgeable about baseball, not just talking heads. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, I don't know I can't remember if, I don't want to just throw names out there, so I'm not gonna, but I think they are trying to pull knowledgeable people and doing a good job. I also want to give a shout out to the Cleveland Guardians announcer,
Tom Hamilton.
Tom Hamilton. He's the man. He's been doing it there for a long time, since 1990. He's been their play-by-play guy, and
He's our Rick Riz.
and since the Mariners
guy.
game was on Apple TV, and I listen to it anyway at work, but I get way more ads on the Mariners broadcast for some reason. So I was listening to the Guardians broadcast, and I was listening to Tom Hamilton, and he had the whole broadcast to himself. They weren't like switching out with the TV side and everything.
Wait, he was just solo calling the game?
Well, I mean, him and another dude.
Oh, he had like a color commentator.
But it was mostly, it was just him. Like
Gotcha.
the whole game, since it was on Apple TV, he didn't have to switch to the TV side and shit. So he did the full radio side, like mostly himself, the play-by-play. And I want to say, like, that dude fucking killed it. He loves baseball. You can tell he loves baseball. He was saying good things about Seattle, our stadium. He was excited at the right moments in the game where he wasn't biased for his team where something bad was happening. You know, the exciting parts in the game he was excited for regardless of who it was for, because it's baseball. And whichever way it goes, he's going to react that way. And I want to give a shout out to Tom. He's the man.
I will also say the Mariners broadcast tends to do a really good job as well of not being overly homers, of not just constantly cheering for your own team and putting the other team down, or like not being excited. And it's always been that way. You look at like Dave Niehaus when he used to call games. There's one legendary call of Mark McGwire taking Randy Johnson deep for the furthest home run hit in Kingdom history. And you couldn't even tell that Dave Niehaus was the Mariners announcer in a good way. He saw an amazing baseball play and called it as such. I mean, he is absolutely hyped. You will even notice it with Riz and Dave Sims. They tend to do a very good job of being excited for great plays that happen. And I think that they personally have a really great balance between being your home team's announcers, but also calling it exciting for both ways.
They also both grew up in completely different areas. Dave Sims grew up in like the Baltimore side of things, whereas Rick Riz grew up on the south side of Chicago.
He's a Chicago boy.
Yeah, rooting for the White Sox. And they're so good at calling plays for the other team.
Yeah, they are very fair, and they obviously love baseball, and then it's a big part of what they do, and I appreciate that about all those guys for sure. What else we got? I got a couple shout outs here. We want to shout out Quentin. He was awesome on our last podcast.
Quentin
I can't
killed it.
wait till he's back.
Shouts to Quentin.
Allison obviously was awesome.
Legend.
Shout outs to my sister.
Legend.
My nephew Oliver and my brother Tony, they're listening all the time. They're awesome. Hopefully we get Nate and Nate on here again here soon.
Yes, producer
And,
Nathan and special guest Nathan.
So I went to the game on Thursday, the day game, random day game on Thursday, and I got some garlic fries, and they were fucking awesome. And I was wondering if we should do a See Us Guys.
Yep.
And go around and see what kind of food we like to get at the ballpark. What do you associate with baseball? Is it a burger? Is it a dog? Is it fucking fried crickets? What do you got?
Mm-hmm.
I will say I tried the fried crickets expecting not really necessarily to like them. I thought they were pretty bomb.
Yeah, they don't taste buggy or anything.
No,
It's
they
like
were
hella
good.
salty, right?
No, it's like it's not
It's like
necessarily.
chips.
They got hella spices on them. They're
Yeah,
spiced
they
to
spice
hell.
them to shit. So
Crunchy?
it doesn't have like a musty,
Spicy.
gross bug taste. It just tastes
It's
like,
very spicy.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
just tastes like tortilla chips, but like
It's a
spiced.
crunchy snack.
Yeah.
Why is it
It's a crunchy
spicy?
snack.
I will-
Spicy, crunchy snack.
I will say for me, I usually just go with beer for the most part of a game, or maybe a value hot dog. But if I'm going to the stadium and I'm hungry, I'm looking to actually eat, I gotta swoop that Kid Valley burger.
Yes, dude. I'm totally with you.
I mean, they're big, they're kind of pricey, but compared to everything else in the stadium, it's all pricey. And I think for what you get on it, it's totally worth it. So I'm a Kid Valley burger kind of guy if I'm looking to actually like get some food at the game.
Kid Valley's the shit. I also will go with the fish and chips too, the Ivers. If
Yeah.
I'm not feeling the burg, I get the fish and chips. That's my go-to also. I think even going to like Rainier's games back in the day, it was always burgers for me at the ballpark. So I'm really the Kid Valley guy as well. But if it's not that, it's fish and chips for sure.
And you can never go wrong with garlic fries.
Dude, garlic fries are always good.
I agree. I like to get the garlic fries. The garlic fries are great. Some spots have the like veggie dog. Gross. Don't get that.
Aw.
But there is a vegan spot, and it takes forever to get your food. There's like one vegan place in the entire place, and they have like burgers, dogs, and like I think that's it. But it still takes way too long. It's like there's a
Damn.
stall, and then there's people on the side cooking it. Like there's dudes taking your order. Dude, I just can't wrap my head around how hard it is to get vegetarian food. It sucks. Just go to Kid Valley, get the garlic fries. I agree. Just do that.
Yeah.
That's a way better choice. Yeah.
All right, let me set the stage for you real quick. The entree, salted pretzel with cheese.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with that, right? You got the salty, you got the savory of the cheese, you got a beer, you got the bread in you to soak up the beer. You got everything, right? And then for dessert, you get another beer, and then you get Dippin' Dots.
Oh.
I've never had Dippin' Dots, I think, outside of a Mariner game.
This is
Do
the
they
most-
even sell them anywhere
the
else?
most
Yes, they
unique
sold them at
lineup of
McDonald's
food.
for a long time, and it's a scam, bro.
Yeah, because their
Dippin'
shit's always
Dots is
broken.
a scam.
Just give me more ice cream.
It's small ice cream.
There's
and
so much
they-
air in the container,
Yes,
bro.
you're paying for air.
Have you ever bought a bag of chips?
Have you ever eaten?
That's
Have you ever
true.
eaten Dippin' Dots? They're actually so satisfying to eat those little balls of ice cream. I think
Just
you're
let 'em
paying
melt
for
in your
the
mouth, bro.
experience.
No,
It's
fuck
the experience.
This is
Thank
my-
you,
Experience
Matt.
is
Thank you.
baseball. You go there for baseball.
I'm a Dippin'
not-
Dots guy.
not
I'm with
whack
Owen
ice
here.
cream.
You eat vegetables, bro. There's no experience there.
That experience is
Oh
actually
yeah, how
very
good was
satisfying.
that cauliflower?
That's the one vegetable I will not eat. It tastes like toenails. Every other vegetable is
How do you
very
know what the
satisfying.
toenails taste like?
All around, beer is the number one snack at
That,
the
that
ballpark.
seems like the
huh?
staple for
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
Yeah,
us. Just
yeah.
get some beer.
I'm there too. I didn't mention it, but yeah, beer is basically what we do.
But any type of food options, I mean, you're really lucky at T-Mobile. They have everything that you can want. You just got to know where to find it. Download the Stadium app. They'll tell you exactly where to go, where to find your shit. But go to a game.
Not a sponsor. Hey, Stadium app, hit us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to the
Go-
game.
so definitely go to a game, get some beer, get some food, some cricket, some garlic fries, a hot dog, or whatever. But go and cheer on the team and watch some winning baseball. That's going to do it for us. We are out of here. Go
Mariners!
All right, let's go fucking party.